Good afternoon, folks. We are live and back once again. Let me go ahead and get everything switched over, and we will jump into today's drawing stream. I forgot to set up my BGM for. Make sure that's not too loud. I'll leave that there for now. I can always adjust it later. All right, so what are we working on today? What I have on screen here is the last time I worked on this particular project, which has probably been over a year now, at least. But when we did the concept art for the BGM release 3.0, BGM Collection 3.0, which is a mix of tracks that were primarily named and created with the help of the community. And again, I think it was in 23. I don't even think it was last year when that one came out. But the album art used a bunch of these ship designs that we had made. And actually, I can show that. It should be here. Yeah, here we go. So we used, I don't know if I used all of these for one. We have here 20 fully rendered and colored designs. But let me actually go pull the album art. I don't think it was 20 tracks. That would have been a big collection. Yeah, it was 12. So that means there are 8 on here I didn't use for the art, unless the art had more than 12. No, I'm looking at the original art once everything was rendered. There were 12 of them in total. I wonder where the other 8 went. It might just be sitting here to be used on something in the future. Got one more thing I can check. Nope, we used 12 in the video as well. Okay, well, I'll have to go back and figure out which ones weren't used. Can mark them off here. Let's see, this one. That way I know if I need to pull some for the next time I use these. I don't know which ones I already picked for 3.0. This one. This one. This one. I think there's one not on this list that was used. That's interesting. That would mean I would have lined and colored one that wasn't on this file, which shouldn't be. There is one so far that's not on here. We got this one, this one, Oh, there's another one. That's two that aren't on this list. This one. This one. And this one. And there's another one. So I see three. Three ship designs that aren't here, which is pretty unusual. Maybe I did another template that has these rendered. Let me check one thing. It won't matter for the exercise today, but I'm curious as to where those went, because I would have had to have drawn and colored them at some point because I used them in the video and they're part of the album art. Oh, I'll put them here. This was the template I used to create some art that I sent Wazzy. Ah, found it. Okay, so they're over here. Oh, there's a bunch. Okay, I'm gonna save this. At least so I could see the file. And so there's a few here on this that were used in the previous one. I guess I should be using this file because there's less in it. Here, we'll mark these off too. So this is one. This is one. And this is one. Oh, we actually sketched out way more. Let me hide these. I'll have to reorganize all the files. I'll do that later. But if we look at the sketch layers, we went all the way up to 79. So there's a lot more of these than I thought. In that first file that I had on the screen, that was the initial set of sketches, and went up to 54. And that's where I thought we were going to start today. But no, it turns out we're actually on number 80. Okay, yes, this is going to be where we work today. Alright, so now that we have that figured out, the exercise is going to be sketching out some more ideas and concepts for these ships. And I have kind of an idea on what I want to do with these when we eventually organize the next BGM collection. I won't talk too much about what I'm planning, but we'll still need these designs so that I can draw them out and color them. Okay, unfortunately, they're all in one spot. The exercise then will be just experimenting around with some ideas and kind of free designing the ships while keeping the bee theme. And it's been a while, so I figured that'd be a good exercise to do today while we're drawing. And I won't worry too much about things like symmetry since these are just sketch concepts. Whatever we end up using will be able to mirror and work on the symmetry that way. So it's just getting the concept ideas together, and we'll try to run through as many as possible. Looks like I'm drawing things slightly skewed to one side, but again, these are just sketches, so the symmetry doesn't matter. This one is kind of a variation on this one up here. And more of an emphasis on the weapons, on the body of the ship and the wings. Alright. That's a good start. So kind of like we've done on the free associating sketches and concepts on previous streams for things like the characters, outfits, and like the faces and all that. We're going to kind of run rapid fire through these and just try and get as many ideas as possible. The shotgun method for concept brainstorming. Maybe we go more circular wing shape for this one. I've got an idea. I'm not going to go into too much detail because it's a little more of a tentative thing. But I do want to have whatever we use next still keep the same idea of having like the B-shaped designs and then having like the stripes on some part of the ship, like you see on Bees, the black stripes. But I'm thinking of changing something with colors. That'll be something to think about. I know we've done this sort of circular design before. I don't see any on this one, but if we go back, this one has a similar shape, and I want to say we've done a lot of these. Maybe this one was the one I was thinking of. No, I think it was this one. Number 6. That was one I was thinking of. When we first started, I was drawing these at a little bit larger scale, but in order to fit more of them on one design template, that's why we shrunk down the formatting. We'll put the stripes here closer to the body. So this one has kind of more of a smaller, more compact body, but then these prong-like swept forward wings towards the back, and then these would be weapon batteries near the front. Okay, 3 down so far, making good progress. It does look like I kind of draw these a little bit bigger. So if we scale them down maybe 20%, then I might be able to fit more of them on here, another row. We'll just slide you up. We'll do it one by one. There we go. We should be able to fit another row under these, and we'll go 20 per sheet, 5 by 4, which is what we did on the last one. Oh no, we did 5 by 3. Okay, we'll do 5 by 4. Which is what we did here. It doesn't need to necessarily be the same, but we'll try and be consistent. I think we go kind of more of an insect-shaped body on this one. That one looks a little bit distinct compared to some of the other ones. Okay, moving on. Trying to think of what I want to do for this one. Something with the wings. We can do this. The actual insect-like wings attached here. Maybe they can change position. It's a little bit wider than the others. What we'll do is we'll move that one up a bit. We could scale it down a little. Okay. Row 3. We're kind of going for a triangular shape with this one, like a delta shape. We'll give these sort of hook-shaped weapon batteries on the wings. I like to think they'd be kind of like laser batteries. Shoot out like that. Right, moving on. Alright, how do I want to do wings for this one? Could have them going out horizontally. Yeah, I don't think we've done that on any on this page. There we go. What we'll do is, when I get to the end of this page, then I'll number them just like we did before, and then we'll continue on to the next one. This one almost looks more like a shuttle. Alright, next. I like the shape on this one. Kind of TIE fighter-ish, the wings surrounding the body like that. I imagine it'd be more flat. So if you're looking at it from a head-on profile, instead of looking like that, it'd be more kind of like a flat disc. Alright, one more, and then we're done with the sheet. Well, I didn't make that patterning symmetrical at all. This one's a bit more wide compared to the others. This one a little bit up. Let's number them, and then we'll take a look at these 10 before we move on. This is number 80. Maybe that's why I put the number on the right here. But we'll be consistent. Alright, so this is numbers 70 through 89. I'm going to save this and recap what we did, starting with 80 and on. I think of those, the standouts to me are probably 83 over here with the kind of round insect body. 83, 86 I like. And then 88. 89 is decent too. All right, moving on to next sheet. Do the same thing. We'll go 5x4. Put the wings down here. Have an idea. We have 2 sets of wings. All right, good start. Going for more curved wings on this one. same number per row and column. Like I said, we'll go 5 by 4. Okay. Moving on. I'll do a lighter, like a smaller, like thinner model this time. Oh, we're already working a lot smaller than we did before. Okay, here's what we'll do. I want to be consistent so that I don't screw up my numbering and formatting. We'll do 5 and then I'll just stretch it, and then I don't know how big to make the rows below. We haven't done kind of a swept forward wing design at an angle yet on this sheet. We'll do that here. Add some more weapons on the wings, kind of like bombs or missiles. This one has twin engines, kind of pointing out at an angle. Alright, this one should be pretty much done. One more, and then we'll resize the row and make it match the 5x4 layout of the previous ones. What would be a good wing design for this one? We can go curved and back. That's not something I do a lot. Yeah, it's a little bit more of a unique design. It's kind of the opposite of this one right here. Okay, let's save this. Now we're sizing slightly. We'll make them kind of an even row so we can work directly underneath. Yeah, I think this is roughly the same scale. Just orient them in a way that'll make it somewhat evenly distributed across the page. You can follow the rows, the columns. Okay, second row. This one's kind of a weird shape with the body being connected to the wings via these little frame things. This one has kind of an issue with symmetry in the sketch, but it's alright. If I was going to use this one, mirroring it would make it a lot easier and there'd be no issue with it being asymmetrical. Looks like it's wearing a little hat. Again, for people who might be watching this in the archives and haven't seen me work on this particular project before, this type of rendering is meant to be top-down, the ships facing forward. The shot we used when I organized these into the album art for BGM 3.0, it was kind of like a hangar lineup of the ships that were laid out in a grid. Now, for what I'm kind of envisioning for 4.0, if I use these, it's not going to be set up the same way. But the rendering perspective will stay the same, but I'm deciding whether or not I want to do like an actual scene or change kind of the way it's being shown instead of a static kind of resting shot, but it's still kind of preliminary. But I had the idea just pop into my head this week, which is why I wanted to work on it on the drawing stream. Decided to do rounded insect wings at the last minute. Alright, let's save and continue on. Kind of like the idea for this one, the curved wings. That in combat they would be able to swing outwards or even forwards, so like this direction or this direction. Kind of like a fighter jet, depending on what was needed. Some of these would make for a pretty interesting animation. It's too bad I don't know how to animate. This one, now that I'm thinking about it, this one has a pretty close resemblance to one of the other ones from the earlier sheets I remember. I think it's this one, number 22. Yeah, I think it's maybe 22 or 48. The kind of jagged looking jaws on the front, or that resemble jaws, that makes this one a little more unique. With this kind of, I don't know what you call it, like a W shape, where the body looks like that. I kind of like that as a design for a spaceship. I don't know how functionally practical it is, but it creates kind of an interesting silhouette that I like. It's a good contrast to the ones that are kind of swept the opposite direction like this. But we've done it a few times. You need to be careful not to just keep recycling the same basic ideas over and over again. Alright, that's number 4 in the row. I have an idea that's popped in my head. The idea was to have kind of like this round, larger body up front, and then the wings attached kind of on the front section. But there's two of them, two sets. That one actually has the most unique shape out of any of them so far. Alright. Let's take a pause here. We'll save and kind of talk a little bit about where we're at. I think I might start wrapping up a little early today because I have to go hit the road before it starts to get later in the day. I did want to get today's makeup stream in since we had to move this one from during the week. But let's number these. That way we know when we're kind of starting and stopping. This should be 90. 91. Gets us to 99. I'm going to move them up a little bit. Should have enough room for 2 rows and then some. We'll kind of center it here. The reason why these lower ones are lower opacities because I was using them to have an underlayer to ink the ones that I used in the last project. Well, I didn't use any on this page. Oh, never mind. We used 62. Okay. All right. So like we were talking about before, we started with number 80 to kind of get warmed up. And from there, we did another 9 to add 10 to this page and complete this particular sheet. Overall, I'd say we had a pretty decent variety of designs and definitely some that I could use for another project. Then we moved on to a brand new sheet to start the next set. And of these, looking at the kind of spread here, I think 99 might actually be my favorite, just because it's got kind of the most unique shape compared to anything I did today. But for other usable ones, even though it's a little similar to some of the other entries, 97 I think has some potential. And maybe 90 for the backwards curved swept wings is, again, kind of a unique shape compared to a lot of the other ones. I think 96 has also got some potential, but if I had to choose between 96 and 99, I would definitely choose 99. But overall, it was good to practice some more and do some more concept sketching for this. I think once I know more about what I'm going to put into the next BGM release, it'll give me an idea of how many of these I'm going to need. But hopefully, fingers crossed, because I won't have time this week unless I have a bit of time tomorrow. I need to finish grabbing more of the recorded tracks off the loop, and then I'm going to have to take some time to go through the archives of the jam streams and figure out which ones the community named. Since I think probably going back to last year or the year before, there's definitely some that I need to match up. Since I have the track names, I just don't remember which ones were which. And then once I have that all organized, I'll know how many tracks I'm going to put into the release. My goal is around 15 or 16. But we'll see. There's less, there's less. But I don't think I would go more than 16 for another BGM collection for the 4.0 release. But that's a little ways off, but I do want the recording done so I can at least get the project organized. We're talking about the kind of release schedule when we did the jam stream earlier in the week, and my priority is still finishing the Halloween album, remix album. That's gonna be my main priority tomorrow after we get done streaming Rido Remastered. So if I can do that, then I'm not as concerned about getting all of the stuff done for the next BGM project, because that's further down the line. But we'll see. I've been doing a lot of practicing during the week for the backup vocals on the Blood Moon Rights remix songs, for the ones that have lyrics. Because I think I know what I'm going to do. I just need to sit down and record it and do all the editing and mixing. Hopefully that will be something I can at least get recorded tomorrow and then finish up editing when I get back from Extra Life. But we'll see. There's still a lot that I need to do. My work schedule is about to get stupid, and I'll post something in the community Discord kind of explaining. Obviously, we won't be streaming next week since I'll be headed over to Extra Life. But when I get back, my stream schedule is going to be different than it was in the past. And so I'll just explain all that once I know more. But we'll probably be sticking to weekend streams for the foreseeable future. We'll see. But let me take a look. We'll get ready to wrap up a little bit early today. See who's online that I can raid. Oh, Yatra's live. I haven't seen her in a while. She's looks like doing a karaoke stream. 4-year anniversary, huh? Oh, wow. It's a long time in VTuber years. Alright, we can go see how Yatra's doing. Let me go ahead and pause this. And we'll go to outro. And we'll call that a pretty productive drawing stream. I do want to return to the Bee spaceship concept brainstorming again, but I don't think we'll do it back to back. We'll most likely return to one of our other ongoing projects. But in the meantime, thanks to everyone who stopped by and hung out. Hope everyone has a good rest of your morning, day, or evening. We will be back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific, to finish, hopefully, the last episode of Rido Remastered. I know I had to put it off from last week, but we should be able to go and wrap up that story. In the meantime, again, I'll catch you folks later, and now let's go see how the anniversary is going over on Yatra's stream.